Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we know, the president received the report from the men that were selecting the IEBC commissioners together with the IEBC chairperson. But the president has not yet made the final decision on who is going to become the chairperson of the IEBC commission. But one thing and some factors remain clear. President William Ruto officially received the much anticipated report concerning the recruitment of nominees for the positions of IEBC chairperson and commissioners. Notably, the short list include Charles Nyachae and Han Amadi, both regarded as his preferred candidates for the top seat. Legally, the president must pick one nominee from those forwarded by the selection panel. Charles Nyachae, a long-standing political ally of William Ruto and his key figure in the Abaguzi region, is seen as a neutral choice. However, the emergence of Fred Matiang'i as a political contender in the 2027 race might complicate this decision. Ruto could fear that Nyachae, driven by regional loyalty or political realignment, might tilt the electoral outcome in Matiang'i's favor, thereby jeopardizing Ruto's succession blueprint. Anne Amadi, on the other hand, presents a different kind of challenge. Although she is a viable candidate, her ethnic ties to the Luo community and by extension to Raila Amolo Odinga raises strategic concerns for Ruto. In a scenario where Raila abandons his traditional coalition shortly before the elections, the president's political machinery, including the fallback candidate Ruto, could suffer a crushing defeat. Moreover, Amadi is perceived as a principled and potential resistant to manipulation, making any post-election arrangements highly difficult under stewardship. Given these dynamics, Ruto may opt to bypass both names and press for more pliant candidate, especially since he is believed to exert significant influence over the selection panel. The final move now lies in whether he will submit the report to the National Assembly today, which he hasn't, or tomorrow. We wait to see how the chessboard will shift. But apart from that, the Wiper Party leader, Kalonzo Musyoka, has written a letter to President William Ruto on matters IEBC. Wiper Democratic Movement to His Excellency William Ruto Arambe House, and they say the reference and the reason for writing this letter is consultations and concurrence prior to appointment of the IEBC chairperson and members. And I want to read this letter to you, which Kalonzo was written today to the president. We note that today you received the report of the panel charged with the responsibility of recruitment of persons to be considered for the position of chairperson and members of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. The law requires that the panel shall submit 9 names for consideration of appointment of 6 commissioners and 2 names for the appointment of the chairperson of the commission. You will recall that the National Dialogue Committee, NADCO, year after the committee report was established through resolution by the National and Senate Assemblies on the 16th August to 29th August 2023, respectively, and adopted on 24th February 2024, the report followed the decision to make the country forward to move the country forward after the post-2022 election conflict through the bipartisan talks. Bringing together Kenya Kwanza Alliance and Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Coalition, the committee was mandated to facilitate dialogue and conscience building, as well as recommend appropriate consultational legal, policy, and administrative reforms on issues of concern to Kenya. The letter concern yourself. The letter concerned itself with recommendations arising out of the NADCO report. This covers the all important concerns relating to IEBC reforms and political party discipline. Paragraph Kalonzo writes a lot of things. Amekuwa na barua nyingi pia ni kama zile ambazo zilikuwa zinaandikwa na the current governor wa Murang'a, Governor Irongo Kang'ata. But looking at it right now, the message of Kalonzo in regards to writing to President William Ruto, it tells us that the opposition has no hope in in this IEBC that has been selected under William Ruto, because this is an IEBC that William Ruto has overseen it being made. But one thing that seems not to fall in place for William Ruto is that in the IEBC, the two people or the two names that are considered for the chairpersonship is Charles Nyachae, who has been regarded as a long-term friend of William Ruto in the Kisii region. But currently, another Kisii brother is on the race for the presidency ahead of the year 2027, and that is Fred Matiang'i. So William Ruto might feel that he will be jeopardizing his chances of being re-elected or being named the winner of the 2027 general election if he himself, as William Ruto, will be the person that will pick Charles Nyachae to represent him as the IEBC chairperson. Because, Nyachae, sometimes, as we say, pia yeye angetaka a leader to come from his community, and that is why we are saying he might pick Fred Matiang'i for the presidency ahead of the year, during the elections of the year 2027. Instead of favoring William Ruto, he might favor Matiang'i. And that is why many are thinking that Ruto might change his mind on picking Nyachae as the IEBC chairperson. On the other hand, also, Annie Amadi is highly affiliated to Raila Amolo Odinga. And if Raila Amolo Odinga might choose to forgo the MOU side between him and William Ruto before the year 2027, then Amadi might rule on favor of whoever Raila Amolo Odinga will be supporting for the presidency in the year 2027. That IEBC is supposed to speak, to give us the correct result. But when have they done that? In 2007, they ruled in favor of Kibaki. In 2013, they ruled in favor of Uhuru. In 2017, the same thing. In 2022, they ruled in favor of William Ruto. Yet we know that Raila Amolo Odinga won the election. Are we together? So the IEBC makes the president. Are we together? It makes the president. It decides who wins the election. So William Ruto cannot mess around with that. He might send the report back to the panel, and the panel to go back and look on the people that they have selected as the IEBC commissioners and as the IEBC chairperson. For now, that's what's up. Make sure you subscribe. See you in our next video. This is the Kenyan Daily Report.